Hey, what is going on, y'all? So today we are at Mount Rushmore. We left Wyoming yesterday, pulled in late last night to our campsite, got set up. There's a bike rally that is currently going on in the area, so it's pretty packed where we're at. But I mean, it's pretty awesome at the same time. Everybody's in very good moods. But today we are going to see one of the most American things that we can see, and we're going to bring you guys along with us. As you can see, super packed out here. I mean, there's a ton of people out here. Not much to do really once you're on site, except look at the actual faces. I guess you could take some hikes if you wanted. We're not gonna do that today. We're just taking a look at it, getting a few pictures, and then we're headed out of here. So probably try and head into Deadwood at some point today. So I don't know how far we're gonna make it, but we're gonna give it our best shot and try and hit as many things as possible. We're only here for 4 days. Or 3 more days, so we have to stay busy and stay on top of it, or we'll miss what we want to see. So we got out of that mess and we took off. There's a little trail on the side of it. So we're currently waiting in line. They have some rock formation that you can look through and see Washington's head. That each one of the faces on this thing are about 60 feet in height, and then Congress at one point, or I guess the original plan from Borgum, who was the guy who designed it, was to have them all the way down to their waist. And then Congress decided that no, we're not going to do that. We're only going to do the part that just the faces that are there are the only things that we're going to be doing at this time. They also were going to put in Susan B. Anthony. Like the next year, Congress ended up saying, no, we're not putting her on. We're only going to finish exactly what's on the mountain right now.
I think it had a lot to do with funding.
Yeah. So as you if you leave the top area, they have like a little walkway, and then it runs into like a boardwalk area that runs you down below the mountain to where it gives you a bunch of different viewpoints, which is what you just saw. That's just different angles of the mountain and the president's faces. I decided to take a quick break, and while we're doing it, I'll go over everything that I have possibly crammed into my head about Mount Rushmore. About 400 people on and off to come out here and work on this thing. 90% of the project was done just by blowing up dynamite, and the workers that came out here had little to no knowledge of like sculpting or anything like that, but what they were out here for was gold mining, and they had tons of experience in blowing things up. So the guy who built this ended up hiring all those guys on, and that's what they used to do this. They blew up most of the rock. What was I telling you, Shannon? of the 400 men that worked on this, not a single one ended up dying, which is pretty crazy for that time, especially given the scope of the work and the dangerousness of the actual work itself. They actually hired kids to sit there and watch as they were lowering the men down on the ropes. They had kids yelling to them to either slow down or speed up, because if they would lower the guys down too fast, they would end up scraping their faces all over the face of the rock. So they hired the kids to just keep in contact and yell to everybody of what's going on. So that's a wrap of Mount Rushmore. We're headed into Deadwood. Alright, so we had to get out of there. It got actually pretty hot, so we ended up leaving, but super cool experience. The chair that you saw is the actual real chair that he was supposedly shot in. They also had the same exact cards that he was supposedly shot with as well. It's called the Dead Man's Hand. On the way out, we were actually talking to one of the girls that works there, and she was telling us that they had working brothels or operating brothels all the way up until they outlawed it in 1982. And at that point, apparently the town became kind of like a ghost town, so they ended up having to legalize gambling to revitalize the town and bring it back up to what you see now. She said that the motorcycle rally itself has been going on for over 80 years, so it was here before they shut all that down, and then obviously it's going on now. Super cool old town, just very interesting. All right, y'all, so that was Deadwood. Very small town, a very cool town. Most of the buildings that we just showed you date back to pre-1900s. Most of them in like the 1870 to 1900 range. Super cool, super old. I can't imagine what they do when it's not like the when there's not a lot of bikers in town. I can only imagine it's probably a pretty dead town, but very, very cool. So I think we're gonna head back. We're gonna get back in the truck, head back to the campground, settle down for the night, and then, yeah, been an awesome day. What kind of day has it been?
Best day ever.
Best day ever.